Hello there, friends. It's Jimmie Maverick. Welcome to another video on the 16 Rounds Plus live draft tool. Today we're going to talk about advanced features, and if you haven't done so already, I encourage you to go watch the first video, the introduction to the app, just to get a basic idea as to how things are laid out and how it works. But let's talk about the advanced features, and we're going to start out with the advanced filters. That's this red bar at the top. We skipped over this on the last video. But what this is going to allow you to do is to do things like change the league point schedule, change the player filters, change your draft mode settings as you need to. So if you click on the little hamburger, it opens up all these sub-menus, and the first one is the league point schedule. Now, on the current list, we are in a half-point PPR, league size 12, draft position 6. But let's say we want to see what happens if we move to a PPR with tight end premium league. So if you click on that, what's going to happen is it's going to recalculate the player values and change the player recommendations. And so you can see that the recommendations changed. It was Najee Harris, Jamar Chase, and Joe Mixon. But because of the tight end premium, that's a lot of additional value for the tight ends. And so because of that, the tight ends moved up in VORC score and became the recommended players for this round. You can see Travis Kelce is recommended. Najee is still on the recommend list, and then Mark Andrews. But the reason is because their value went up substantially because of the way the league scores points. That increased their VORC score. That pushed them ahead of players like Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon. So that's basically how that works. And so one of the nice features of this app is it adjusts the recommendations based on how the league scores points and, of course, your draft position. So you will see differences there. Now, the next thing is the player filters, and there's all these filters available which you can use to remove players from the list that you don't like. For instance, let's say you don't want any old running backs. You don't want any running back over the age of 27. You just go down here to running back age, you click on that, and you can say over age 27, apply to all, and you don't even need to hit anything. It just automatically removes it. So if we go back to the list here, and I don't know if you remember, but I know who's going to be impacted by this because Derrick Henry is over the age of 27. Derrick Henry is not on the list anymore. You're not going to find him here. And the reason is because he was removed. He's down at the bottom of the list now. He's under the removed players. So he's not a player you're going to want to consider if you don't want older running backs. But you can do that with any of the player filters. One thing I do recommend is that you get out of draft mode before setting your filters. You just hit this X button that removes you from draft mode, and then you set your filters, because then it will apply the filters to the entire list. Then you re-engage, you go back in on draft mode, and it will properly show it. If you try to do the filters in draft mode, it will only filter for that round. And when you go to the next round, it's not going to have any filtered players based on that criteria. So it's just a quirk in the system, but that's just FYI. Again, you can also change your draft mode. So let's say instead of a 12 team picking 6th, you're in a 10 team and you're picking 2nd. Let's go ahead and enter draft mode, and it will be calculating down here. There we go, calculating and bringing us back to league size 10, draft position 1. And you can see it's still recommending Travis Kelce because his value is so outstanding. Jamar Chase, Najee Harris are the top 3 choices. Jonathan Taylor, oh, that's right, we're at pick number 2. Right, Jonathan Taylor's a long shot because his EDP is 1. So, of course, if he makes it, he'd be a great choice too. But that's how that works. Also, you can print the list, although I don't recommend this. I recommend just use the app live. Run it on your phone, run it on your computer while you're doing your draft. It's just much better because things change. Everything changes. As I'm filming this, Tim Patrick, lost for the year. Denver Bronco wide receiver, lost for the year. Well, if you printed this list out yesterday, he'd still be on your list, but now he has been removed. So that's a good thing to know. Likewise, if you forget what any of the little icons mean or any of the little abbreviations mean, just click on the Legend tab and it opens it all up. It will tell you exactly what everything is. So that's just a little handy thing there. Now, the one other thing I wanted to show you was there is additional player info beyond what you see on the screen here. And if you click on a player name, it will drop down additional information about their VORC score, about player notes, and about their stats. So the VORC score, this just shows you how the VORC calculation it works and what their calculations mean on each of these things. So value calculation, undervalued, outlook, excellent outlook, reliability, high reliability, consistency, very high consistency, great player, obviously, right? Kelce's a great player. On notes, you can get some commentary about the player, plus a link to about Travis Kelce. You just click on that, it'll open up a new tab, and it will go to the Travis Kelce news page, and you can read headlines about that player. Nice thing to have handy while you're in a draft or while you're just researching players. Finally, on the stats tab, you've got some basic stats about the player, and then down below, you've got their projected stats for 2022, as well as their historic stats for the prior 2 seasons. So you can kind of see what they're projected to do this year as opposed to prior years. And of course, this is what the fantasy points are calculated off of. It's these projections times your league point schedule. So that's it. That's how it works, man. Those are the advanced features, and I encourage you to go in, check them out, try them out, try different variations. Really, I like to mess around with the filters and figure out, what kind of players do I really not want this year? Some of the other fun things you can do with the filters is there's a BiWeek filter. So if you want to try a BiWeek strategy, I don't even know what week this year would be the best one for teams. Usually a BiWeek with 6 decent offensive teams is what you want. But you can do the BiWeek, and you can just filter out all the players that are not on that BiWeek, and then see how it looks like in draft mode. Are there enough players each round for you to pick from to actually get yourself a full roster of everybody with the same bye week? That's just one thing you can do with this. There is also a nice filter that allows you to show me only. So if you want to see only rookie players, just click that. If you want to look at contract year players, click that one. If you want to look at regression players, click that one. There's all these different filters available. Utilize them. Craft your list, and make sure you're only drafting the players that you're really interested in. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching the video. I appreciate you sticking around for the whole time. If you have any questions, please email me. My email is contact@16roundsplus.com. That's 16, don't spell out 16, 16roundsplus.com, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it further. So thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And have yourself a great drafting season, everybody. Thank you.